These sisters are ready for battle.
Spiking bits.
Welcome back, Hobby Maniacs. I'm Baer from SpikyBits.com. And today we have a bit of a treat. 2019 is the year of the sisters. And of course, there's a lot of sister miniatures out there. We've showed you a bunch from other companies. And now it's time to go over the ones from Grimskull Minis. Of course, they sell them over on Wargame's exclusive. WargameExclusive.com is where you can find them. And we're going to unbox and build a bunch of these today for you and kind of get a feel for how big they are to the plastic sisters battle. Before we take a look at the miniatures themselves, let's go check out their website where you can pick them up from. It's wargameexclusive.com. Like I said, you've heard it a million times over here, featuring the Grimskull miniatures sculpts here, and you can always go down to sisters. And they always have new stuff too. Remember, free shipping on orders over, I think it's 200 euros. And if you're a retailer, you can also pick up their miniatures. Pretty good margin. I looked into it. Decent, very good for a game store. So if you're looking for, some little $15 to $20 items that are, very easy for people to just pick up and buy when they come to your store, you might want to check these folks out too. But remember, they ship out of Eastern Europe, so it's about 2 week shipping time, give or take. So you can click on sisters to see the whole range here. They've got some new releases we don't have quite yet, but hopefully we get them to take a closer look at them. And then of course all of the other sets, and there's some of the assassins that you can use. Well, one thing I do want to mention, and I know I said, hey look, the pricing on the resin Emperor sisters here is going to be about the same as the plastic sisters of battle that are coming out from Games Workshop. We know they're going to be about $60 US, right? Well, here's the thing. These are smaller, they're resin. I'll let you decide on the quality of the sculpts, whether they're going to be better or worse than the plastics are coming out. Inherently, resin is just a better detail. In general, it's going to hold a better detail. But maybe what's cool and what will appeal to a lot of folks is the bits here. You can get head swaps, you can get pistols, you can get backpacks, you can customize your sister miniatures to kind of look a certain way, which is always kind of the case. They have pinup models. Well, I don't know if I'd run into battle like that, but they got them if that's your thing. And some steampunk looking ones, some regular sisters, kind of, I guess that's a bob cut, I don't know, I'm not a hairologist. Some hood sets here, and then they've got all your special weapons, heavy weapons, all sorts of things. And then of course they go into the sets. And like I said, some of the sets are going to be the same-ish price as plastics. Some are going to be cheaper. So individual models, probably cheaper. Sets, probably about the same, so you're not necessarily going to save some money here on the hobby part of it. They're just going to look different. But with things like this, like these Sister Angel Jump Squad right here, you can definitely see they've got a specific look, right? So it's kind of cool. And they're all on 25mm bases, which, you may have to convert, you may not have to convert. I don't know exactly. I imagine they're going to be on bigger bases when they come out from Games Workshop. But that being said, these are gorgeous miniatures in resin that you can definitely use in your army as counts as models. So I know I've showed you a lot of the blisters from Grimskull and Wargame exclusive before. We don't really cover a whole lot of the squad box sets here, but if you do decide to get one, this is basically how it comes. It's going to come in a package with, some baggies here and the different units and such in it. And I'll take a second here and lay all this out for you, but I just kind of wanted to show you. It's going to come with, things in different baggies depending on what they are and how fragile they are, and potentially any single character, like this is the standard Baer, so this is a single character upgrade that's going to be part of the set, so that'll come kind of separate in there. So for the base Emperor Sister Squad, you're going to get 10 plus, or I think the standards included, and there's like a sergeant type deal, and there's really cool different poses. Like there's this one here that's like kind of kneeling and firing as well, and there's a different there's a little leg sitting up. There's two of these, so that's really neat to see. But I wanted to zoom in on kind of the detail here. So there's a grip of helmeted and then unhelmeted heads. You're gonna get the traditional, you just got basically a torso here kind of moving and firing. They're all very actionable, and they got this big halo thing in the back. You're gonna get some grimdark looking backpack things here, very cool. And then they just fit on like standard kind of type deal right there, so they look very the part, I feel like. And then as far as the arms go with their weapons, you see on the little sockets right there, there's little notches, and that tells you which one goes to which one, so you can match them up. So if you get them and you start to become frustrated because you don't know which arm goes with which arm, well, that's a great way to tell right there. So that's how you can tell which ones go together right there. So there's a bunch of different options as far as in every kit. And of course, I didn't put one of these together because I'm a stupid and I missed it, but we did put one of the standards together, and there you can see a little bit more of a close-up of how it looks, the weapon, the detail work, the very ornate Baroque armor there, all of the rosary, I think it's called, I don't know, some sort of stylized rosary name in Latin, and the backpack, and the great Gothic standard up there with a little bit of cloth on it. So lots and lots of room to do some really fun work, but also a lot of detail to hit and some very cool stuff. Ooh, a cyber eye, that's pretty neat. Actually, something I just thought of real quick, that set that comes with 10 of the sister models, you can get the 5-man version of that, but the 10-man one actually comes with the standard and the squad leader, which I did put together, and that's why I didn't do any of the Bolter ones. So there she is right there. Now that one comes on a resin base, but the rest of them come on a plastic 25 mil, so if you need to put it on something else, you can. This one might be a little bit difficult, but you know, to rebase if you wanted to, but you could slice it off and kind of have some fun hobbying on that if you really needed to. But yeah, I mean, as far as detail goes, incredible stuff here, right down to the cape and all the chains themselves. Now, single miniature wise, they still have some options, and like I said, these are a tad bit more affordable as far as that goes. So here is a heavy melting gun. It kind of looks like the Ghostbusters proto pack back there, and really great looking design on that right there, and even got the goggles and a respirator. Very cool looking shoulder pads, and even a cape on each one. It's very cool stuff. And here's how it compares to the current plastic sister of battle. So they're a little bit bigger, a little bit on the bigger side, and I would say the detail, it's close, too close to call for me. Definitely up to you as far as the detail goes, plastic or resin right there. Then there's single miniatures with special weapons like a melting gun. She might have got hit in the face with a melting gun. Who knows? I don't know. They're crazy. They got to repent every now and then, different things. But great looking styles. Got some grenades back there. What else do we have? Oh, one of the jump troops with some really cool looking wing designs right there on a 25 again. There's the 360. And then last but certainly not least, these bodyguards with swords, very similar to what I just showed you, on some very dope display bases right there. And Saint Celestina herself, I think this is the pinup version, got the little robo dove thing right there, and great looking detail on the wings all the way up, very Gothic and ornate, Baroque even. And I think it's a little wobbly. I think this is supposed to, you're supposed to glue that down right there. That's what I would do if I was already had this painted and ready to go. But yeah, darn, I mean, it's just incredible detail all the way down. Here's a better look at another character, miniature, that's gonna seem bigger, but we all know kind of how that works. But there it is. Great looking detail in both right there, and certainly either one could be used on the tabletop right there. So very cool sisters miniatures from Grimskull Minis, and of course you can get them over on Wargame exclusive. Check them out. Like I said, prices comparable, sculpts, resin, looking very dope. Too close to call detail wise for me. I think the plastics look great. I think their resin sculpts look very good. So at the end of the day, it's just, hey, what style do you want? And how do you want your models to pew pew on the tabletop? So that's it for this one. Thank you very much for watching. Make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you can be the very first to like and comment on all our videos.